moment in the life of Barack Obama.
It was the same dilemma posed to me the year I left Hawaii. The same tensions that certain children on the South Side might suffer if they took too much pleasure in doing their schoolwork. The same perverse survivor's guilt that I could expect to experience if I ever did try to make money and had to pass the throngs of young black men on the corner as I made my way to a downtown office. Without power for the group, a group larger even than an extended family, our success always threatened to leave others behind.
This has been Barack Obama.
Oh, my gosh.
with
Oh, my
another
gosh.
moment in the life of Barack
That explains
Obama
a lot.
It
on the
does.
Glenn Beck program.
But can we
That
just talk
explains a
about
lot.
this? When did we become? I almost
We didn't. He did.
I know. We are becoming this. We are becoming this. I almost bought a desk. It was from a woman. She was the first black millionaire in America, and her desk was an important desk, and I almost bought it, but it was way too expensive. But I thought to myself, the reason why I wanted to buy that for this, project that we're working on, is because there was a time, Booker T. Washington really was a guy who exemplified this. There was a time that you said, it's okay to be successful. It's good to be successful. And go out and earn it. Don't take it from somebody. He talked about how he saw people in Washington, African Americans, going in and trying to get the government to give them stuff. And he said, you're enslaving yourself again. Don't do it. Don't do it. When did we become a nation to where we feel our success somehow or another diminishes someone else's chance? We used to be a nation where, at least growing up in my house, my folks would tell me, what do you want to be? What do you want to be? You're going to have to earn it. Now, I grew up, there was nobody that even went to college in my family. There's nobody, I went back. I never forget when we did some family history. We went back for several generations. There's nobody but losers in our tree. Nobody. There is nobody that ever accomplished anything in my family tree. Some people are like, hey, I just found out I'm related to me. I was related to like a loser shoe peddler. That's that, and that's a highlight in my family tree.
Not a good shoe peddler.
Not a good shoe peddler. A loser shoe peddler. Mm-hmm. So I got nothing.
Yeah.
And there's no reason for anybody in my family to ever say, you can make it. You can make it. But they did. And we used to see people in the world and we'd say, I want to be like that guy. Now what we say is, I want that guy's stuff. Not how did he earn it? What has he accomplished? Who is he? We ask our kids, this is a dangerous question. What do you want to be when you grow up? Don't ever ask your kids that. Ask the question, who do you want to be when you grow up? And if they don't really understand that, say, well, who do you want to be like? And have them tell you why. Because if they say it's some, basketball star, great, okay, but why? Well, because he's got cool stuff. Your kid's off track. Because he gets to play in the NBA, good. What are you going to do to be able to play like that? Not what do you want to be? I want to be an astronaut. Who do you want to be? And try to get them to look at the attributes of that person. You want to be a basketball star? Great. Who do you want to be like? We had a conversation at my house the other day, and luckily, like Pat and Robert and some of my other friends were there. I'm trying to remember who it was who was having this conversation, but my son brought up a football star that I'm trying to remember even what team it's on. He's on. He's really good, but the guys in the house, I didn't know who he was. My son did, and he said, "No, you don't. Not that guy. That guy. I'm glad we traded that guy because he's really not a good person." And they had a conversation with my son about how he wasn't a good person, and my son was like, "Oh yeah, no, I wouldn't want to be like that." That's important. You don't just talk about the accomplishments. And here's the president. He says, I'm walking down the street and I couldn't face it. I couldn't walk down the street and pass the guys who didn't make it on the street and feel good about myself because I was successful. You should. You should feel good about yourself. And then you can take time and say, hey, is there anybody here that wants to learn anything about? Look at Pursuit of Happiness, that movie with Will Smith. That guy didn't say, I want to take that Ferrari from me. He stopped him and said, how did you get that? How'd you get that Ferrari? Here's a homeless guy who applied himself. If you tear down yourself so you won't make others feel bad about themselves, then there are no examples to set. There's no example out there. I have news for you. I think the only reason why you would feel bad about your success is you didn't earn it. Mm-hmm. I am really proud of what we have created. I'm very well aware. The other day I got up on a ladder here in the studio, and I got up on this ladder and I went up to this rocket. When I got off, Eileen said, please don't ever do that. Everybody is in the control room screaming at me to get you off that ladder. And I'm like, I'm fine. I can get on a ladder. If you fall off the ladder and break your neck, it's over for all of us. She didn't care about me. She was like, all of our jobs are done. Okay. I know that what I'm creating something. It does come from my vision. However, I'm very well aware of the incredibly talented people all the way from the floor, from the person who erased my Orson Welles fishbowl, all the way up to Chris Balfe, who runs the company. I'm very well aware. We're creating something great, and we're doing it with integrity. We're doing it with the sweat of our own brow. We're doing it with our own money. No, there's nobody else involved in this. Damn right I created it. Damn right all of us did. And we all have pride of ownership in this thing. This is good. And I have no problem. I want to walk down the street and have somebody look at me and say, I couldn't start a network. Really? Why? Why not? I was a loser 12 years ago. I had nothing. And I did it. And I did it the right way. I don't feel guilty. I didn't take a dime from any man. I never stole anything. I played by the rules. And look what America can provide you. The opportunity to pursue happiness as you define it. Damn right. I'll walk down any street.
Yeah, you're an inspiration for those people. You didn't leave them behind.
You didn't leave them behind.
You're hopefully inspiring them to do what you did. What do you mean leaving them? And if you're that guilty about it, give them some money. Help them. Give them a hand up.
You
Don't
have to
give them a
ask
hand
yourself,
out.
though, why are you guilty? The only reason I think you're guilty about your success is if you don't feel you earned it.
Well, or if you've been taught Marxist principles your whole life, that it's about the collective and everybody has to do exactly the same. Everybody has to be equal. Everybody has to have equal outcome. Well, that's not what America is about. We're about equal opportunity, not equal outcome.
And that's what
he doesn't get that.
And that's what he stresses in that clip. I mean, it's that a group larger than your extended family is what's important, not the individual.
But it is important. Why do you think the Tea Party, why do you think we do what we do? To make money? I had a great conversation with Mike Broomhead yesterday. We were talking about why we do what we do. Money and fame and everything else is a byproduct. Mike's willing to flush it all away. I'm willing to flush it all away. I don't really care. I mean, will I miss the nice house? Will I miss the nice car? Will I miss, all the stuff I'd miss it a lot. But you know what? That's not what makes me. That's not what drives me.
Can't be.
What? Yeah. Why are we busting why am I not having anything sweet for 40 days? Why am I not having any sugar? Why am I not having why am I not having, cake or ice cream or a cake or a pie at my wife's or my daughter's wedding? I love pie. Are you kidding me? I love sweets. I love it. Why would I do that? Because I believe in divine providence. I believe in the country. I'm willing to sacrifice. And that may sound stupid to anybody, and that's fine. But I'm willing to sacrifice. I'm willing to do what I have to do. I'm willing. We slept. How many hours did you sleep in the last 5 years, Pat? How many hours a night do you sleep? I mean, take your pain away. I mean, because of work. 3?
Yeah, 3 or 4.
Yeah. 3 to 5 hours a night is what we get to sleep. That's it. My wife, I just said to my wife 3 months ago, I said, honey, I'm really concerned about the children. I have been away from the children too much. I mean, that's why we moved to New York in the first place. Then we moved here because I want my children to have a normal life. And now I'm back on a plane. I'm in Phoenix, Arizona this weekend. I was at my daughter's wedding last weekend. I was someplace the weekend before. I've missed 3 of my kids, my son's football games, which I promised myself at the beginning of the season. I'm not going to miss those. I'm missing them all. And why am I doing it? Because as we talked this just the other day, I said, honey, I feel horrible. I said, but it's the election. And she said, honey, there's no choice. The next 3 weeks this is it. And she's right. And you're doing the same thing. I'm not doing it for the fame and fortune, and neither are you. You're not going into work every day just for the fortune. You believe in something. You believe even in something just as basic as you, as your right to be able to pursue your idea. I can make something. I can do this better. Next week, I'm going to fulfill a promise I made to myself. What was it, 2 years ago? When Levi's came out and said, you know what? We want to be the progressive uniform. Do you, Levi's? Go to hell. You already moved your factories off into China. I love Levi's. I've always worn Levi's. My whole life, since I was a kid. That has been my go-to jean, Levi's. But they've already given up on us. Oh, Levi said, well, you can't make them in America. Too expensive. Well, I found the Levi's factory. I found the people who made those jeans from the 1800s all the way until they moved to China. I found the factory. I found the original loom. It's the oldest loom in America. And I went to them. Can we make that quality jean? Can you do it in America? Can you bring it in at a price point that I know is going to be a lot more than, what you can buy things made in China? But can you make a good quality American jean at a semi-reasonable price? Yes. Then let's do it. Monday, we show them to you, and they are available. And I am proud of the team that has put it together. I am proud that I live in a country where a man can see something and say, that's not right. We can make it in America. We can do it, and we can do it with better quality. We can do it without sweatshops. We can do it without slaves. We can do it without communism. We can do it here in America, and then do it. Barack Obama, I'm sorry. I don't know what the hell's wrong with you. I don't know who you are. I don't care anymore. I really don't care. Get out of the way. So Americans can live their dreams. So Americans can connect with their God and their principles and their God-given rights to live their dreams, to make their own way, to be their own man, to pull themselves up by the bootstraps, and to be proud, not arrogant, but proud of what they have accomplished.